The one thing about drama that is always a constant amazement is that no matter how long it's been, and no matter how much of a person could change, no one could ever forget the drama that you've experienced. It will never go away. Like a tumor in the back of the head that's constantly acting at you, it will never fade away, no matter how much you try to push it to the side. In the case of Darkside Phil, he's dealing with that a lot due to the fact that he had a clip of him rebroadcasted to the world through another person's perspective, and it got more attention than him, causing him to go more viral than he already makes himself. But to still believe that everyone's a fucking moron due to the fact that they're clipping him and putting his name in a bad way, it shows how much he can hold a grudge, no matter how small or how big it can be. So he decides to go full on Karen and just bitch and complain about that tweet that was made, oh, I don't know, last month.
Because I hate to say it, in the modern day, it really feels to me like we're in a place where games have changed, the internet has changed, opinions have changed, and I honestly, I'm telling you this up front before we even start talking about Zelda, I like the game a lot.
No, he does not. Anytime he plays this game, he is bored with it and he just wants to quit it. Because due to the fact that it's a long game, he doesn't have time to finish it completely, so he's rushing it as fast as he can while being a salty little bitch boy along the way. Also, to bring this point forward, even though he is correct that times will change though, it's now occurring to me that this boomer is like, oh my god, everything changes, like he just saw a rainbow for the first time, and it's an pure fucking amazement that, oh, times could change? Wow.
I'm actually happy I played it, and I'm having a good time with it. Last night, actually the last...
If you're so happy to play it, then why are you shifting your eyes? Like, I'm happy to play it. Looks to the right, looks to the left. It's like you're not excited to play it, Phil. Every single time you play this game, you hate it.
Hour of last night was really cool. I had a great time that last hour of last night where we made tons of progress and the big plot reveal happened. And I was like, ooh, that was neat. After having played that long to finally get the big plot reveal, I was like, ooh, I like that.
Throughout him trying to get the Master Sword, he was bitching and complaining all the way through, and I made this theory that the salt that he gave out for it was not genuine. It was not even genuine, authentic salt. He was forcing it out there. That way, if he gets clipped, he will talk about, oh, people like to clip me in the negative light, and he'll just try to play himself as the victim yet again.
Right? But at the same time, it almost feels like in 2023, God forbid you play a video game that's a major game that, you know, it seems there's a consensus that people really like it, and you say anything critical about it, not even necessarily just negative, like slamming the game, but even trying to be honest and transparent with an audience about your feelings about it, it's like you can't be anymore.
Phil, you were never honest about it to begin with. You were just slamming the game with no justifiable reasons to why the game is bad. From what we have seen, every time you make a complaint about Tears of the Kingdom, it's clearly a skill issue on your part. You're saying that, oh, I can't believe I'm getting hit by lightning even though you're running into a fucking thunderstorm in full metal equipment. So no shit, you're gonna get struck by lightning. A mechanic that was in Breath of the fucking Wild. Like I said, he doesn't really retain information all that much. Also, every single time he's slamming the game, he's not giving a good criticism. Instead, he's blaming Nintendo, saying that they're using outdated mechanics, that they're doing mechanics that have been done by other games, quote-unquote, better than this, and yet he wants to be contrarian. That's the best way to describe him. But he'll say that he loves it just to save his own ass, which we have evidence that you don't like it, Phil. And we've seen multiple clips about it.
Because if you are, oh God, you're just against the norm. You're going against the grain. You don't agree with everyone else. Yeah, you're right. In life, that happens a lot.
Yeah, it does happen a lot to you because you give shit takes. People don't like your opinions about it. But here's another thing with that though, Phil. They don't like the personality that's playing the fucking game. You do not have a good personality. If you have a different personality, like say for example, if you're a Proton John and you didn't like Tears of the Kingdom and he said that he doesn't like this element of the game, but he enjoyed somewhat of his time with it, that's a different scenario. That's a different like consensus of, okay, he didn't care for the game, but he had some points of it to why he doesn't like it. That will be justifiable. Your points are never justifiable.
In life, that happens where people have different experiences based on different things in their lives and their own gaming perspectives and things like that.
But yet you will love to project your own onto other people.
And I hate to say it, but It just seems to me like people don't seem to respect other people's opinions anymore.
Here's the thing with that, though, Phil. An opinion is never to be respected. Some people could say the worst opinion or just an opinion that they'll never agree with, but they're entitled to that opinion. I can have an opinion about something, and I'm entitled to it. But everyone else can say that either they can agree with it, disagree with it, or they can come to a good happy medium, as you like to call it. A good neutral, where you can agree to it to an extent. That's the thing with it, though. But every single time you give an opinion about something, it's either something that's complete, like a complete shit take, or it's something that's not even your own fucking opinion that you're taking from someone else.
We'll talk about that today on the show, because I am going to go in depth about my Zelda Tears of the Kingdom playthrough and feelings, and I guarantee you're going to see backlash against the things that I have to say, regardless of the fact that I should have the right to say them.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So he's going full on soapbox mode, where he's going to stand on a soapbox and he's going to be like, I'm going to tell you why my opinions are right, you guys. Even though they're against the norm, I'm going to tell you why my opinions are right and y'all are wrong. Fuck you people that clip me.
And by the way, again, I got to say this up front. I don't hate Zelda.
Your fucking tone of voice and actions throughout the playthrough says differently, Philip.
I actually really like the game.
If you like the game, Phil, you wouldn't be like, this game is actually made for adults. How could children like this? Oh, what the fuck? Lightning killed me? Oh, this entity known as lightning killed me, even though it's a science thing.
Get into the meat of what I want to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now 40 hours in. Someone just said, why are my pants blue? Because these are my Zelda Breath of the Wild pants.
Great way to point out your fucking pants, Philip, or your pajama pants. Good way to point that out.
Because I'm a fan of goddamn Zelda.
No, you're not. Your tier maker list says differently.
And I wear Zelda pants. See?
Yes, Phil, we see you're wearing pajama pants. We see that they're Zelda. Doesn't mean you're a fucking fan.
So you all made fun of me. You made fun of me, a 41-year-old gamer on TikTok. And
you're not really a gamer, Phil. Shut the fuck up.
You said I'm a horrible gamer because I don't understand the lightning mechanic of Zelda.
Even though it was in Breath of the Wild.
But I'm a fan. I have Zelda pants. Do you have Zelda pants?
Yes, I do, Phil. I do have pajama pants based around Zelda. I have t-shirts based around Zelda because it's merchandise. Also, fun fact, Phil, I played more games in the series than you.
I didn't think so. You don't have Zelda.
Oh my god, I don't have Zelda pants? That means I'm not a fucking fan? Oh my god! God, please strike me down! I don't have the pants!
Zelda pants, you don't have the right to say that my issues with the lightning are invalid because you're not wearing Zelda pants.
They're fucking invalid. I know you're making a joke with this, Phil, but your opinion on that is fucking invalid. You had metal! For God's sake, you're holding metal weapons! You are a dumbass.
I'm insulated from your bullshit because I wear Zelda pants.
If you're so insulated by the bullshit, why are you talking about it? That's the thing. He'll say that, oh, I don't care about your bullshit, but let me tell you why your bullshit is bullshit.
I hate this whole premise of, we played a whole game in this fucking world, you know, an 80-hour playthrough. Now we're back for the sequel. Everything's forgotten. Oh, your map has been reset. Everything's done. Fuck you.
Well, then again, Phil, they're trying to, oh, I don't know, add exploration back into the sequel. You know, something that should have been like a DLC, which clearly isn't. Like, Miles Morales was supposed to be DLC, but that became a full-on game. So no shit, you gotta go back and re-explore everything. It's not an issue with that, Phil. The problem is that you don't want to take time to do any of the side shit, like find secrets. You'll go into the towers and explore and get all the maps all together, but you don't want to explore the world given to you.
Spent all that time in the first game. Now I gotta go through this whole fucking game and remap everything again?
Yes, because there's also Sky Islands. That's another reason, Phil.
Right? Like, geez, thanks a lot. Really feel like my time was well used in the first one. Like I said, maybe if it wasn't reusing the same map again, it would feel better because then it would make sense. But if this was, oh, by the way, screw off, now go remap the whole world again. Dude, I already did that in the first one.
Again, Phil, they're giving you more sense of exploration. Granted, I will agree that it's an overdone mechanic, but they're adding new ways to you to explore Hyrule again. How hard is that to understand?
I gotta do it again?
Yes, Phil, you gotta do it again, because it's a fucking sequel.
It's just, to me...
How disgusting.
And the funny part about it, too, is, like, it seems like no matter how you play it, it's not good enough for Nintendo fans. Like, for example, if I beeline for a dungeon, oh, he's just rushing, right?
Well, clearly from what we've seen, you're not exploring the world to its full potential. You're not looking for secrets to try to improve Link as a character, up the offense, up the defense, up the health. You're not doing any of that. You're trying to rush through it as quickly as possible. That way, you can move on to the next game. You've done this a lot. Do I have to bring up that quote that Ronnie Blaze gave you?
So last night, for example, I wanted to explore the southwestern part of the map. So I did. I actually was jumping between the different mountains. There were different tiers of the dragon that I wanted to hit up because I wanted to get the full story of the game. So I'm doing that. I start reading video comments. Oh my God, why did he do it like that? All he had to do was ride the road from Point Lookout, and it would have, or Lookout Landing or whatever it's called. It would have taken him right into the Gerudo Desert. He literally wasted an hour of time traversing the mountains. Why would he just take the main road? And I was like, wait, what?
I'm calling bullshit on this whole thing about reading comments that people are like, why did he do this? Because every single time you try to make a comment on his videos, he has to read them. And if they're not to his liking, he does not allow them and he rejects them. So shit like this is the reason why I call immense fucking bullshit. Because we would have seen it. But he wants to read through them all, police them like always, and then deny. Oh, this one's me. They're sucking my dick. Approve. And that's all he'll do. He wants validation and confirmation that what he's doing is correct, and when someone tells him what he's doing is wrong, he doesn't like that. He hates criticism.
So if I take my time to explore and find things in the game at my own pace, and I'm enjoying the plot line, that's bad.
You really don't like this game's plotline at all. Even the face of past Phil, that's exactly you, that you have to go through the entire story of it, Phil. And every single time you're going through the story, even if it's on there in full fucking detail, you go, wait, what? That happened? It's like, yes, Phil, it happened. It was on the goddamn screen.
I gotta play a game. Okay, I gotta play this game. Gotta rush through it, finish it so I can get to the next game. Let's play the next game. Gameplay. Get those gameplay videos out. Gameplay videos.
Yes, I left that part in just because that's Phil's mentality. He has to rush through it every single time to play the game.
Why didn't I just take the road, right? But if I'd taken the road, it would have been, oh, well, you see, he didn't take his time to find the cutscenes, so now he doesn't know the plot of the game because he rushed through it. It's like, what the fuck?
Now he's just generalizing what people might say about it, which is entirely fucking wrong. Like, I get it. You want to play the game at your own pace, though. But here's the problem. Your pace is always constantly rushing, and you're always bored with the game. You're trying to rush through it as quickly as possible just to get to the next game. It's clear as day. Final Fantasy 16 just came out. You are bored with it. And now Tears of the Kingdom, you're rushing through it as quickly as possible. That way, you don't have to worry about having a long RPG in your repertoire under your belt. Either that or you just want to play Street Fighter 6 because you had a craving for it, but now you don't.
So how exactly am I supposed to play it? Right? It seems like no matter what I do or how I play the game, it's not good enough for the Nintendo fans.
Phil, it does not matter how you play the game. It's the way you act while playing it is the reason why people do not like you. You are very fucking toxic. You will play a game, criticize it for bullshit reasons, try to play the contrarian route, and then immediately backpedal by saying, oh, no, you don't understand, guys. I like this game. I'm just calling out the bad parts, because they need improvement. When you offer no solutions. You're adding more problems, no solutions.
So then why the fuck do I give a fuck about what the Nintendo fans think?
Why are you talking about it, Phil? Why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing up the Nintendo fanboys? Why are you bringing them up in the first place if it doesn't bother you?
And again, if you're painstakingly taking your time to do it all, because you have unlimited time, unlimited resources, and this is the only game you're playing, then maybe it has some meaning to you, and it doesn't matter if you wasted an hour because you have another 400 hours to play the game.
Bullshit with that, Phil. There are people that actually have jobs and they play this game at their own pace. Sure, they can get farther than you. They can explore the world, but that's their prerogative. They can have fun with that. They can have fun however they want to. Whether it's exploring every single nook and cranny of Hyrule just to find all the items that they need, or they want to build mechs, build stupid things in Tears of the Kingdom. Again, that's their way of having fun. But what you're saying is, oh, you're having fun your own way? That's fucking stupid. You should watch how I'm playing the game. I'm having fun. Wait, lightning?
But for other people who live in reality, who don't fucking have unlimited time and resources to enjoy one video game, yeah, I'm angry when I waste an hour of my time because the game didn't explain what was down there and it was a bloated in bullshit.
Bull fucking shit on this, Phil. You're saying that, oh, if people live in reality and they have jobs, they can't do that. I've seen people that can play this game and they have jobs and they're farther than I am. And it surprises me how much time that they can have playing a game while working a job. I commend those people because they can spend their hobby and their time however they want to. But you're essentially saying that people aren't living in reality when they have a job and they have all this time to play video games. Like, Phil, just shut the fuck up. You are so out of touch with reality. Like, if it came at you in a fog, you will be lost in it and you will have no idea how to get out of it.
You know, that pisses me off.
Yeah, sure, pisses you off. No, that doesn't piss you off. What pisses you off is whenever you have a part of you clipped and it spreads like wildfire, and it's not a good look for you. Even people that have no idea who the fuck you are that see you find entertainment with your failure. You do not like that because you want to be taken seriously.
And there's been many times in this playthrough where there's bloat and there's bullshit instead of meaningful content.
What the fuck are you even talking about when you say, oh, it has no meaningful content? Oh my god. The headaches. Oh, this game is filled with fucking bullshit. I'm going to tell you why this game is bullshit, and it's not valid. You're not providing valid points, like everybody has told you. But you want to completely ignore it, call it white noise, and move on with your shitty gameplay, like always. And then when the time is right, you want to bring it up again.
So, what's the solution? I don't understand, because everything I did in this cave up to now was not a problem. Why does this boss insta-kill you? Here's the solution people say to me. Oh, you should have got more hearts.
Again, they're not wrong. Anytime they're giving you criticism, they're not wrong.
I should have got more hearts. I'm 40 hours into the game.
You still should have found more hearts, Phil. You should have gone around looking for pieces of heart. You should have gone around looking for secrets to help build your fucking character up, but you didn't, because you're rushing.
This is not a 10-hour run and I ran into the boss. I'm 40 hours into the game. I've more than tripled to quadrupled the amount of hearts I had at the beginning.
Uh-huh, but you're still not doing anything good, and you're still dying. You're not increasing your fucking defense, your offense, and your hearts. That's why you're dying a lot. And you're bitching at the game for not giving you the tools needed when you're supposed to go find them.
Do you understand? I have armor on.
Again, you don't have good defenses.
I have some defense on.
Not very much, apparently.
Right? If the solution is you should have just endlessly grinded and spent more time wasted in the game to level up menial things, that's not a solution.
Wait. Finding more hearts is not a good solution. What? It's a good way to help keep you alive, Phil. That is a good solution. But you're looking at it going, that's menial. That's fucking stupid. What I'm doing is better. Oh, what's this? I'm dying a lot. Why did nobody tell me?
That's a cop-out, and that's basically you trying to shrug off criticism for the game that deserves it.
Phil, you're the one that constantly shrugs off criticism. No, you don't even shrug it off. You take a fucking bat and you beat it off of you, and you're like, no, that's not good, that's not good, and you're all bloodied and battered, and it's like, why is that I can't get this criticism away from me? I have thick skin, you guys, even though your thin skin is melting, buddy.
No, there shouldn't be enemies in the game that hit you for 11 hearts.
Yes there is, Phil. It's called an increase in challenge, in difficulty. All games should have that, but what you want is, oh, they just do this. Barely anything, and I could keep going. You want your handheld. You want it to be easy mode all throughout the entirety of the game. No challenge, no risk to get the bigger reward. You are fucking stupid.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely preposterous.
How is that preposterous, Phil? How is it preposterous to have challenge in a game for you to actually explore the entirety of a map to find secrets and to find ways to improve yourself? How is that preposterous? Oh, right. You don't have a valid reason to why that's preposterous, and you're going to say that everybody from detractors, Nintendo fanboys, and just the average viewer that is trying to give you criticism, they're fucking stupid. Gotcha.
That shouldn't happen. And the solution shouldn't be spend another 10 hours grinding in the side shrines to level up your hearts more.
Knowing you, Phil, you wouldn't even look up a guide for it because you just look at your chat and they'll provide you all the fucking answers. That's what you want. You want your handheld the entire way through, like I said. And my fucking god, the fucking salt and the toxicity is ever so flowing right now.
No, that should not be the answer. That's a bad answer.
How is that a bad answer, Phil? They're telling you to go get hearts and you're completely just not even taking a bat and batting it away. You're taking an assault rifle going, nope, these are all bad answers.
That's a game design flaw that should be called out.
That's a flaw? What are you talking about? How is exploring the world and looking for secrets a flaw? How? Oh my god, my head. My head is just overfilled with stupid right now. God, help me.
No.
Not just spend even more time in the game you already felt was bloated.
How is that game bloated? How is Tears of the Kingdom bloated? They were giving you ways to explore the world, look for secrets, and that's bloated? No, Phil. Bloated would be taking a game that should be about 10 hours and you're just filling it with fluff that does not reward you for an additional 10 hours. That's bloated. Tears of the Kingdom, for what I have seen from other people, for what I played alone, it's not bloated. It is well grounded as a good game, and it has every right to do what they're doing. You're just complaining because you love to play the Contrarian route. It's like, my fucking god, how dumb do you have to be for this?
That's not a solution. That's a cop-out.
Phil, like I said before, that's not a cop-out. It is a solution. Go explore the world. But you don't want to do that because you're trying to rush.
Okay? But people don't want to hear that. They don't like hearing honest criticism about a game that they're in love with.
Phil, that's not even an honest criticism at that point. That is pure stupidity being taken as an opinion. That's all that is. And this is why people like to microanalyze you. Because of the shit that you just said right now.
Sadly, this game is not perfect. It definitely is not a game for someone who's not just focused on it. You know what I mean? It's just...
Clearly, you're not focused on it. And you're right. Not every single game, not even Tears of the Kingdom, is perfect. But here's the thing with that, though. If a game is rated 10 out of 10, it is never going to be perfect. For the amount of time that people can play a game, if it's ranked a 10 out of 10 in their opinion, then it's good for them. 10 out of 10 games are not to be taken as perfection, like what gaming should be. It's the amount of time that people could spend into a game, how invested they are into it, and how immersed they are with the story and the characters. That's what makes a game a 10 out of 10 for most people. Your case, though? Nah, rush.
They didn't design it like that. It's like, well, you won't get instant killed stomped by enemies if you spend another 20 hours grinding for hearts. What?
Well, Phil, they're trying to say, hey, you don't want to die a lot? Find secrets, find ways to increase your health, increase your defenses. But you're thinking, nope, just put some armor on, I'm fine. Oh, I died?
No, that's the opposite of what I want to hear as an answer.
Then what the fuck do you want as an answer, Phil? Do you want to say that, hey, there should be a button that you can press that automatically beats the game for you? Do you want your hand held like a little child in a fucking grocery store, Phil? Is that the answer that you fucking want? Or do you want to, like, shut the fuck up, put on big boy pants instead of those fucking pajamas you're wearing, and actually take the criticism to heart with it? This is the reason why you are considered as a fucking joke. This is the reason why people like to microanalyze you. Like I said before, shit like this is why.
That's literally like that. I'm already telling you I'm 40 hours in and I feel like the game has bloat. And I feel like more meaningful stuff had happened in the 40 hours I played. And your solution was spend 20 more hours grinding. Like,
what the fuck was up with
the 40
that?
hours I played.
What
your solution
the fuck?
was spend 20 more hours grinding. Like,
what the fuck? Okay, just imagine he's going to a club somewhere and he sees like a nice rack, and this is what they have to experience. God damn the channels. Why do you have to excessively wibble, Phil? This is the reason why we clip you and make fun of you, man. This is the reason why. Fucking wibbles, I swear to God.
Other people who are disagreeing with me and then completely write off my opinion. You see, he's wrong.
Phil, they were not writing off your opinion, Phil. They're giving you ways to improve. But you took that and you went, nope, don't want that.
All right, and here's something that I've definitely learned, all right? In life,
I need banana.
you have to...
God damn it, that fucking edit.
At least try to see from another person's perspective. You have to. Okay.
Phil, this is nothing to do with perspective here. Like, we've seen yours already. It's not very good at all. Why the fuck are you bringing up perspective and you try to be philosophical with this? Nothing to be philosophical here.
Okay? Because as I've gotten older, what I've realized is that when I was younger, I used to be a very opinionated person. Even here as a YouTuber, right?
You still are opinionated, and those opinions are not good.
And my problem with that is I used to say it's my way or the highway. I would have a very strong opinion about something. I really liked it or I really hated it. And that opinion was fact for me.
It's still considered is fact. Every time you say something in your chat, you always look to your left to look for validation. Confirmation for what you're saying is considered to be gospel. And when people go against what you say, you don't like that person and you'll kick them out. No, my way or the highway, chat. You gotta realize it. If you don't like my opinion and you don't give me your daily tithing, then you're not welcome here.
It wasn't like that's my opinion. That's fact.
Well, then again, Phil, you always considered your own opinions as fact. Like what you're doing with Tears of the Kingdom. You're claiming this to be fact, that they should have changed it, that this game is bloated. You're considering this as fact. In your deluded head, that you're thinking that this is fact, when that's not a fact, because you're not providing any valid criticisms with it. You're just throwing shit to the wall, seeing what's stuck.
And God forbid anyone ever disagree with me on my opinion. Like, that's horrible that someone would disagree with me because I'm in the right.
Isn't that what you're doing right now, Karen?
And I should show everyone the way, the truthful way of how, you know what I mean?
Nothing that you have said is considered truthful. When you're talking about your life, it's a fake history after another fake history piled on top of each other. A retcon of your own fucking life. So nothing that you said has truth. Anytime you're trying to say that, oh, I love this game, is not truthful. Every time that we see you play any game, it's not even just Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, fucking Street Fighter 6, you do not like playing those games. But you say that you do to try to delude yourself that you're a gamer, that you know what you're talking about, that you have everything right in your head. But when it's shown in your gameplay and people call you out on it, you do not like hearing it. Because you have to be the positive one. You have to be the one that does everything correct here. That you weren't just pressing buttons, you're putting in inputs correctly. That's what you are wanting. And when you don't get that, the salt comes out.
Sadly, I feel like a lot of people are still kind of stuck in that mindset like I used to be in.
Phil, you still have this mindset. Nothing to say, oh no, I used to have it. You still have it.
Today, if someone disagrees with me on something, what I try to do is try to understand the perspective, even if I don't agree with it. And even if maybe I can't really fully logically put myself into that perspective they're in, I still try to respect the fact that they have a feeling about something. Do you understand?
Bull fucking shit you do, Phil. Every single time someone gives you an opinion, you look at it going, you may be right, but let me tell you why you're wrong here. Because you always will say, they're wrong all the time. Oh, they have a valid point? Let me shit on that opinion for a second. Let me tell you why my opinion is better. Why my shit doesn't stink, but that opinion does. That's what you are doing every single time.
And, excuse me. So then why the fuck do I give a fuck about what the Nintendo fans think?
See? Thank you, Memology, for bringing that point just forward. I was actually going to mention this point. But Memology already did that for me. Why is it that you want to look at it from a different perspective, but evidence of it moments ago contradicts this? Really makes you fucking wonder, doesn't it?
That's why when people are coming at me and saying, you're absolutely wrong, Zelda is great, and here's why. And I'm like, well, I agree it's good. I don't think it's the best game ever made, like a lot of people are saying.
Bullshit, you're hating this game for invalid reasons. And I'm not one of these people that says Tears of the Kingdom is a perfect 10 out of 10 masterpiece. A lot of people have different opinions, different preferences, different perspectives. What I might say, people might not agree with me on it. But I respect their disagreements a lot more than you do when people come to you with valid criticisms and fucking disagreements with you. Plain and fucking simple, Philip.
But I definitely like it a lot. but I think that there's flaws, and I have the right to criticism.
You don't have the right to criticize when you're not providing validations for it.
And some people are like, no, you don't. Because everything you're saying is just factually wrong.
Factually wrong. That's another great DSP-ism that he always would say, that someone is factually wrong or he's factually right, even though he's wrong 100% of the time, unless he has that rare 1% that he's always right.
You're telling me it's factually wrong that it could be unfair feeling that you just lost 11 hearts to one hit. You don't think it's factually, like, there's a problem with the fact that the answer to the problem is you should have just spent lots more time invested in the game. Like,
no, there's nothing wrong with that, Phil, because if you're dying a lot and you don't have a lot of health, go explore, go find more hearts, go find better ways to increase your defense. There's nothing wrong with doing so, but you're looking at it going, that's stupid. Why can't I just hit them with all my attacks? I kill them instantly, but they can hit me one time. Oh yeah, barely in health taken. That's what you want. You want this game to be easy when it's not easy for you.
Like, what? I just don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't get the fact that people can explore the game and have fun their own way? Color me shocked.
It drives me nuts. If my feeling is that the game has blow, how could I be factually wrong? If
you are, Phil, because you're not providing validation. You're not providing any fucking points that can bring that point further at all. You're just saying things to make yourself look intelligent when it's just making you look like a dumbass.
Right?
Why the hell are you doing the... Like, hold on. I'm going to go back here on that. Like, take a look at that fucking face right there. He's doing the almost somewhat T-pose of like, come on, guys. I'm right about this. Y'all are fucking wrong. And I'm just doing that with my hands. Like, look at those eyes. Do you trust someone that says anything wrong about a game but while providing nothing to back up his claims? If your answer is no, good job. You passed the test.
Right? But here's the thing, is that there's always going to be people who disagree. And that's okay. And I've learned to get a lot more understanding of the fact that I'm different from other people.
Well, then again, you're different from other people, but not for the best reasons, Phil. And no, I don't believe you still acknowledge the fact that you're different because you're better than everyone else. In your mind, you're better than me. You're better than people like Raven, Chill, people that actually have a life outside of this fucking internet. Goddamn, you deluded sack of shit.
My opinions very much, a lot of cases can differ from other people. And I don't get upset about it anymore. I'm not going to...
You just got upset about it, Phil! That Nintendo fanboys were coming after you about Tears of the Kingdom! You are upset! Come on! God damn, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm going to sit here and rant and say, well, you're all wrong for disagreeing with me or whatever.
You just did that, Phil! You just did... Okay, that's it. I'm gonna call myself a psych ward because I'm gonna see what the fuck's wrong with you. They say, hey, there's a tumor that looks like a Philip J. Burnell. Who the fuck is like, it's normal. Is it acting again? Oh, it is, doctor? Yeah, it's normal.
I'm just gonna try to relay my own opinion and my perspective. And
yeah, but that opinion and perspective is never good, Phil. Just saying.
I haven't seen a single person counter that besides, well, you should have went into this game with the mindset that you need to spend 100 hours. No.
Phil, nobody told you that at all. They just gave you the thing about... Not even they, the people telling you this. Nintendo gave you the mindset of, hey, I made this game. Have fun at your own leisure. Not sit on the internet complaining about things that aren't even fucking true.
Because in reality, the story of the game isn't 100 hours long. You understand? It's not.
Well, then again, look at Persona 5. That game had a story that was 100 hours long, but you never finished that game.
It would be one thing if the game was like, here's 12 things you have to do on the map before you beat it, and it takes 100 hours to do all 12 things. Then fair enough.
No, Phil, that's not exactly the point with the game. The game's like, hey, okay, here. That is the main story. That could probably take you about 20, 30 hours depending on how you play. Here's side shit that you can do. It will take you about 30, 40 hours, give or take, but it'll help you progress with not only the story somewhat, but it will also give you a chance to improve your health, improve your attack, and improve your defense. Sound good? Class dismissed.
But no. There's 4 dungeons, and then there's the finale, and then, of course, there's the Tears of the Kingdom memories.
Did you forget about the shrines, Phil? That you can also go into the shrines to get the blessings? You forgot about those, didn't you?
Those are the real focuses of the game. Everything else in this world is extra. Literally every other thing is extra. And you can beat the game without ever having touched upon any of that.
Not only is it quote-unquote extra, Phil, which I will give you a little bit of it, like 2% of it will go to an agreement with you. But the rest of it, the side content, also builds the lore of Tears of the Kingdom. So it is providing you with some knowledge about the people in the game. It provides you with like areas that you can go to. It's providing you with more lore. But you don't want lore. You just want, okay, go here, beat the game. Okay, next game, please.
You know, and then if I...
What the fuck was that noise?
Without ever having touched upon any of that, you know?
Was that his fucking AC unit? My God, I think he's run it all the way through there. It's breaking.
And then if I criticize that, that's not fair. Yes, it is.
Phil, it's not fair at all. Like, granted, you're entitled to have an opinion about it, though, but people are also entitled to disagree with that opinion. You do not like it when people are disagreeing with you. It's your way or the highway, every single time.
People need to stop living in that one tunnel vision situation, because, again, I used to be that.
You still are.
Used to be that kind of a person.
You still are. How many times do I have to say this, Phil?
Where I was tunnel vision, and if you didn't agree with me, you're wrong.
You're still like this, Phil. Fuck, when you're playing Street Fighter, you're complaining that people are beating you, and you're sitting there going, but I know the basics, guys. I am a Street Fighter pro. I know exactly what I'm doing. Get your ass kicked. What the fuck? Drive Impact is a mini game.
All right? All I want is for people to respect my opinion, whether or not you agree with it. Just respect the fact that there could be people out there who aren't in love with this game simply because they feel like it's too much.
Phil, let me give you a little piece of advice. Respect is earned, not automatically given. People can have any opinion that they want, and it does not need to be respected. It's just an opinion. It's just fucking words. And if people can take your opinion at face value, more entitled to do so. If they want to take it with the tiniest grain of salt, more entitled to do so. If they want to microanalyze it that I'm doing right now, I'm more entitled to do so. But you don't like that. You want to silence people that disagree with you every single time. So you need to get over this mindset that nobody's going to agree with you, nobody's going to love you, and you got to move on from that. Life is not fair, and every single time that you think that life should be fair, you need to look in the mirror and evaluate yourself. How hard is that to do, Philip? That is one of the key traits of a narcissist, and Phil absolutely has it, where his opinions are always going to be right, but when someone tries to tell him what he should do to improve himself, it's automatically wrong, and he acts very condescendingly towards them. That is always going to be the case, though. Anything he says is right, you're wrong, go take a hike somewhere else. But not only that, but Phil always likes to overshare a lot of things that nobody really wants to know. Like his financials, for example. But he wants to say that he lives in a very hard time because he was born in a difficult economic time.
I'm not like, oh, well, I just have to quit YouTube. Like, that's crazy. No, but potentially, like I've told you guys, I've enjoyed being my own boss for so long.
But that's the thing with that, though, Phil. Even though you love being your own boss at your own business, you sure hate managing your own fucking business.
I absolutely, positively could be someone who continues to make content of some capacity forever.
No, you can't, Phil. Not for the longest run. You could never move from doing video game content to commentary content to fucking podcasting content. You just can't fucking do it. You have no skills for it, and nobody wants to work with you. That's why if we're going to bring up like podcasts, you have nobody to bounce conversation with. You tried, you had that one opportunity, and you completely pissed it away. You had many chances to be sociable with other people to try to tell your own perspectives. That got pissed away too. So you really don't have a chance when it comes to making other content. I mean, didn't you say that your React channel is failing?
It just doesn't have to be a full-time capacity, right? Instead of being the guy who's here 6 days a week full-time playing video games and podcasting, I could be the guy who part-time is doing discussion shows and podcasting and current events and news discussions and...
No. Please do not do that. Do not sell yourself that you wear this like a medal of honor on your fucking chest that I streamed for 6 days a week. This is a full-time job of mine. That's nothing to be fucking proud of, Phil. Because all you're doing is just taking your little styrofoam cup and you're just shaking it around, just begging for money. People feel sorry for you, give you money, you go right back the next day. You panhandle for 6 days a fucking week, just so you could, quote unquote, make ends meet. Also, no, you cannot do podcasting, because if you try to interview someone, or if you try to have a conversation with someone in that podcast, it would not go well. They would leave, or you would leave. Those are the only things that would happen. Also, current events, you're not very good at explaining current events well at all.
Maybe every once in a while, casually dabbling in a video game here or there that I really enjoy.
Even though that's the one thing that you cannot give up, due to the fact that you would be in your old age and you would still be doing this, because no one would hire me, you guys. Nobody wants to work with me.
But it's not necessarily my full-time thing forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, until that 10-year plan comes up, or you inherit the house from your fucking parents when they die. Yeah, like I said, your future is not looking bright.
It's looking like the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. But again,
that was past Phil. That was like 2016 Phil when he said this shit too. How's your future looking now, buddy?
And, you know, those things, here's what I found. If you are someone who can sit down at any point in your life and you can look and say, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, here's my plan and I'm sticking to it, you are living a life of luxury.
How is that a life of luxury, Phil? Like, I really want to know, how's that a life of luxury? That's the biggest thing that I don't understand from this whole entire argument, is this is the life of luxury. No, Phil, that is someone who is financially responsible, that they're more responsible with their budgeting and with their own life, that they can hold a job, love the job that they're working, and keep going. Same thing with hobbies. If they find a hobby that they can monetize, same thing. They find a way to make it work. You clearly have not. And you still believe that you have this life of luxury, but every single day, you're panhandling, trying to get money out of people, scamming them with the next big scam.
You're living a life of insulation. For the vast majority of my life, I have never known what was going to be happening in just a year or two, let alone 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Take a look at my life.
Yes, I will take a look at your life. When you first started YouTube, you had a job and you were making money working at a helicopter company that you were laid off. You got partnered with Machinima, and that's when the money kept rolling in. You were making a lot of fucking money. You didn't want that gravy train to fucking stop. And as soon as they cut you off, all of a sudden you're still trying to find ways to keep that gravy train afloat. That is what you're trying to do. You have no plan B. You have no plan C, for that matter. You have no aspirations to take what you're doing right now with this and make it better. You have done none of that. So you're basically in the water and nobody's throwing you a life support due to the fact that you will not accept it.
Just look back 5 years before today.
Yes, 5 years ago in 2018, you were trying everything in your power to find a partnered company, and that did not work out for you. You went back to Twitch. Need I say more?
How different and tumultuous my life was. Another 5 years.
Because every single time we're going back to your past, you were making money and the ego was coming out more and more. Washington State, on the other hand, when you moved across the fucking country just to move there, that is when your ego got way too high. And when people try to poke at it with a pin, you immediately tried banning them. The ego got bigger and bigger. Then it popped. And you still kept inflating that ego that's already been deflated.
Every 5 years, my life has completely changed. So how anyone...
For the worst, might I add.
Has this crazy luxury of saying, I'm going to plot out my life, and in 20 years, I'll have a 401k that's fully funded. I'll be able to retire nicely and not make YouTube videos and do that. That's a crazy luxury in life.
That's not a luxury, Phil. That's a basic necessity. That is a thing of work. Every single time you find a job and you stay at that job for X amount of years and you build up your 401k, your retirement, that is not the life of luxury. That is basic human survival. That is always a thing. That's just economics, dude. Do you not understand economics? Oh, no, of course not. You're valedictorian. You know everything.
Seriously. Like, you're lucky if you're able to do that. Be happy that your parents probably provided you with financial stability in your youth so you could get an education, you could go out and get a great job, and you could have a family right away and you have stability and all that. A lot of people on this planet don't have that.
Phil, you had that when you were younger. You were given everything that you wanted as a fucking child. You had that life. You had a dad that went out of their fucking way just to make sure that you had a job, that you weren't going to be stuck out there with no job and no money. He didn't want you homeless. He actually gave a shit about you, and you got laid off. You got fired because you didn't want to put in any fucking work. Let's move on with the whole thing about lucky. What you did when you were part of Machinima, when you were making money off that is lucky. Everyone else that's working a job, busting their ass, making ends meet, all throughout with their paychecks, saving money so they can move on, get a bigger place, start a family. That is just human nature. That is ingrained to us that we need to have that. The American dream, pursuit of happiness. That is something that you'll never have, and that every time you see other people having it, you're going, oh, they're just lucky. They don't have what I have. Which is what exactly, Phil? What exactly do you have that everyone else that busts their ass don't?
I've never had that.
Yes, you have. Shut the fuck up.
In my entire life, I've never had that stability.
So you had a Super Nintendo when you were younger, an N64. You were given these things as gifts. Your parents could afford that for you. They could afford everything that they want. A bicycle that you did not want to fucking ride, and that your dad wasted his time trying to teach you how to ride a bike. You had this. You had that stability. You pissed it away as you got older. You pissed away any stability that you ever fucking had. So don't say that, oh, I never had that when you did. You fucking liar.
It's always something fluctuating, uncertain, weird, and different. I didn't choose that life. That's the life that I stumbled into, and the cards that I was dealt, and I'm just doing the best with what's handed to me.
No, Phil. You chose to stay as a content creator. You chose to stay with Machinima. You chose to stream. You chose that as your quote-unquote career. You didn't try anything to get another job, to make more money, to make yourself financially stable. You did none of that. You chose this. And as soon as it didn't work out to you, many fucking years later, you still chose to keep streaming. You still chose to not get a job. You chose the bankruptcy. You chose every poor decision you ever made in your life. That is on you. No one else.
I wish that I could tell you that, yes, I have a 20-year plan that by the time I'm in my early 60s, I have a fully funded 401k and I could stop making YouTube videos entirely and ride off into the sunset of retirement. It's not possible right now.
It's never going to be possible for you because you squander away every single fucking dime that you get on fucking JPEGs.
Long term, yes, maybe. Right now, I'm just trying to get to the point where I'm stable every month. I'm paying all of my stuff. I'm not behind on anything.
Also, making sure that you're paying Hogan every single time you get your fucking tip money.
And I have enough flexibility so that if something goes wrong, like my car breaks down or my fucking tire gets stolen.
Way to bring this back up, Phil. Even though your tire was never stolen, you had a fucking flat, Kat didn't know what to do. She called you ignored her for 30 minutes, you went down up there, and you're like, I'm going to find a way to make this into a grift. They stole my tire, even though it was a pure, simple flat.
Right?
No, you're not right, because every single time you have an incident where your car is broken down or your tire was magically stolen, and then a magical tow truck driver came to you, said, I'm not going to charge you. Bullshit. It's all just a bunch of bullshit from you.
I get something breaks in the house or a piece of equipment breaks, I need to quickly replace it, that I have the flexibility to do that right away.
Phil, you had that. You had that opportunity to fix something. You said that your shower broke and that you need $1,000. Pull that number right out of your ass. You need $1,000, and people gave you that money. And the very next day, you went back to begging for more money. When someone called you out on it, you told them to shut the fuck up. And when they asked you again, you kicked them out. So bullshit on that. That shower that you had that's broken, that is still broken, is accumulating mold. And it's making that house lose its value, and it's becoming disgusting.
Once I'm to that point, then you can look and say, oh, maybe now I have a little bit extra every month I can put aside for something.
Which you don't have at all. You spend it all on WWE Champions every single time, or any other mobile game that you find a new addiction for.
Right? But right now, I wish I had that. I'm not even to that point of just even Steven before I can start looking to say, oh, there's extra to put aside now.
You had that opportunity every single time. Every time someone brings up your financials and that you were making that much money, you had all the opportunity to save that money. But did you? No. Hulk Hogan was calling. He wanted an extra $10,000 from you by the end of the fucking 2 months.
I'll get another dollar tip. This doesn't even make sense. Since you're crowdfunded, you have to always depend on people, even if you stop playing games. What could you do to make money for yourself, but also not have to be crowdfunded?
That's actually a good question, Phil. They're essentially trying to tell you, hey, if you don't want to be crowdfunded all throughout the time, you can go get a job. But what bullshit are you going to tell us, Phil? Please, tell me, so I can microanalyze it and say you're full of shit.
Nothing. Literally everything in life is crowdfunding.
What? What? So going out to get a job, your fucking wife having a job, that doesn't help because you're crowdfunded? Where's my alcohol?
Literally everything. But if you have your own business, you rely on the customers to come fund your business and buy your product. If you work for a company, you rely on that company to provide a workplace and employment and work to do. Everything is always dependent on something else. There's literally nothing on planet Earth that's 100% dependent on yourself.
At this point, Phil doesn't seem to understand what crowdfunded is. He seems to think that every single business out in the fucking world, doesn't matter how big or how small, it revolves around people coming into that business and just giving them money. Like anytime they go into a Walmart or a fast food chain, that anytime they fucking order something, buy something, that's crowdfunding. No, Phil. Crowdfunding is whenever a business or random people give them donations to keep a business afloat. That is crowdfunding. Patreon is crowdfunding. Kickstarter is crowdfunding. Going out to eat at a restaurant is not crowdfunding. But he loves to believe that this is. Just, I don't understand why, but he makes a dumbass analogy, which I gladly call out.
Unless you're a hermit and you live in the fucking woods.
Like you, every single time that you stream, you don't go out unless it's once a week on your day off.
And you're chopping the trees down and you're eating squirrels off the tree. But even then, you're dependent on the tree to be there and stay healthy and the squirrel to be there to eat.
You know, I have this little fun fact. Like, if you put Phil out in the woods for like 24 hours, he would not survive within 3 hours. He would just go crazy. Where's my internet? Where's my phone? Where's everything? Cat, where are you? Cat is right there. And he's just hugging on a tree because he misses her so much. Kind of like a Castaway moment, but very, very sad.
It just doesn't exist. You're living a fantasy life.
Also, trees are crowdfunded. Keep that in mind.
Really? You're living a fantasy world. Doesn't exist.
Phil, you're living the fantasy world. Every single time you're making money and you're thinking that you're doing something successful with your life, you're living that delusion of grandeur every single time. But you want to keep sitting there going, oh no, I'm not suffering from delusions of grandeur. No, everyone else is living the fantasy world, not me, the successful businessman. Me, with the successful business.
It doesn't exist. What you're saying is a myth.
How is doing this, being crowdfunded by Patreon and going out and getting a paycheck from an actual job, a myth? Everybody does this, Phil. This, what you're doing, your podcast, your streaming, that's a hobby that you monetized. Everyone else can do what you're doing, monetize their hobby while still working a day-to-day job. So that's not a myth, Phil. You're just full of shit.
Perpetrated by people who like to feel safe on this planet, when in reality, there's no such thing as safety. Because at any moment, the sun could go supernova and we're all dead.
What the fuck are you even talking about? So, job security is related to an apocalypse. What?
There's no safety. Space aliens could come down and liquefy us all with a gun in 5 seconds.
What the fuck are you talking about? How much gin have you How much have you ingested in gin to make up this stupid point?
There's nothing we can do. In life, nothing's certain. No safety. Stop.
Yeah, no safety. Yeah, trust me, guys. Oh, I don't smell like gin. I'm all good. No, I'm telling you the real facts about the world while he's kicking away the gin bottles.
Stop that ridiculous feeling right now. Oh, but what are you going to do to insulate yourself? You can't insulate yourself, ever.
Yes, you can, Phil. If you work in a job and you are one of the best people there, you have security. Your job is secured. If you fuck around and you think, oh, they're not going to do anything, they fired you, you fucked around and you found out real quick that you don't have job security. It all depends on your work ethic. If you are really good at your job and you are really good at making the company happy, making them money, you're good to go. But you're not doing that at all. You're losing money by the fucking minute, and you're blaming everyone else for it.
Anyway, only I-7 did a super chat says go to Kick.
Go to Kick. Everyone else is doing it.
I don't see any reason to go to Kick. I enjoy being on YouTube and having my audience here.
Yeah, but every single time you have low supporting streams, you blame your viewer for not giving you your tithing. Also, the reason why you like it on YouTube is where you started your legacy.
I have absolutely no aspirations to blow up and make giant money, which it seems like everyone who's running to Kick is exactly what they want. Oh,
this is coming from a guy that wants money every single time. He wants to hit his 3 tier goals every single time he's trying to get tips. He wants money. But if he tried, well, then again, if he tried to go over to Kick, they won't sign him on. He's a nobody. But that's why they hired someone like XQC, giving him that deal. Because they've seen how he streams, they like his charisma and personality, they want him on that site. That's why he made that much money from it. But Phil will never have that. He's not that lucky. But he wants to say that people like me that has a job and enjoys a hobby, that I'm lucky to actually have anything. Sure, Phil, delude yourself more.
Oh, the Twitch party's over. Run to Kick. That's the new land of milk and honey where you can do whatever you want and make big bucks. Anything for this, right?
Pretty much. That's what Phil is looking at it. He's looking at it like everyone else is greedy, but yet he's the greediest motherfucker of all.
Why do I need to do that? I'm not looking to do that. I'm not going to ever get virally popular on Kick or anywhere else.
Even though you're complaining every single time that people take your clips and that becomes virally popular and you want to go on a big tirade about how they're fucking assholes.
I'm happy being who I am with the
Clearly not.
audience I have.
That's very dwindling by the fucking minute.
I'm not being complacent. I'm being a realist.
You're not being a realist at all. You're being a delusionalist. You're deluding yourself in this illusion that everything that you have going for is good when it's not. You're losing your fans by the fucking minute. Your React channel is fucking failing. You're not enjoying your hobby of games anymore like you used to. And you're just sitting here expecting a payout. That's all that you want, is a handout from other people to keep your channel afloat, to keep your good name afloat. That's all you're wanting, is money. But as someone else makes that money, you become jealous and you try to project your jealousy onto other people.
These people who jump from trend to trend, this is what they're doing. They're just trying to stay on top of this big money-making game. To them, that's what it is. It's a game. Get the bag.
How is it a game, Phil? I call it more of an opportunity. If someone gave me that opportunity, no shit, I would take it. Anyone would take that much money given to them for signing on a contract deal. As long as they're benefiting from it, it should be a good thing. But you're looking at it like a negative, like you always tend to do with everything. Another thing that Phil did, but this was during his Diablo 4 stream, which honestly, it cannot be saved due to the fact that his audio is completely fucked. I could barely understand it because of the game audio being too loud. But someone asked him about Asmongold and that he does streaming a lot. And it feels like, oh, these people have no lives that they can constantly stream. So, kind of correlating to this point, though, he looks at streamers that if they go over to Kick, if there's a money deal around, they're greedy and that they want money. Or if they stream because they love streaming, because they love interacting with their audience, all of a sudden, they're no-life losers that have no potential in life, they don't have a family, don't have a social life, and they just want to be there just so that they can just grow old, get miserable every time they play a game. When in reality, that's just Phil projecting what he's doing every single time he has to get on the fucking camera and stream. So, Phil hates streamers. Confirmed.
That's not what this is for me. It's not get the bag. If it was get the bag, I would have taken every money-making opportunity I was presented. And if you haven't noticed, I've turned down a lot of them.
Because you are afraid. You're in this paranoid state that people are going to ruin it for me, guys. They're going to ruin it for me, guys. Oh my god, why are they ruining it for me? Even though the one person that can ruin it, not the detractors, not your fans, not even your fucking parents. You. You are the only person that can ruin any deal that you can get because you will try to beg for more. And when that doesn't go through, you still bitch and complain. And when you lose that, it's the detractor's fault. When it's only your own. The amount of projection that this man could do in this single podcast alone just blows my fucking mind. Every single time that he's trying to get advice on a video game, doesn't matter what it is, he'll always look at it as the wrong answer. That they're wrong, he's right, and that every single time that they call him out on this, they're still wrong, and that he gives them Das Boot whenever he gets the chance. The whole thing with Tears of the Kingdom, the whole viral drama that he thinks that he's going through, and that he blew up from one tweet, it really went to his head. Just like he has it with the Side-Scrollers interview, as well as many people that want to talk about him, including detractors. Another thing that really makes me laugh is due to the fact that he has no idea what it is like to work an actual job in his life. Because every single time he was given stability, he pissed it away just so that he can live and maintain his lazy lifestyle. And that's the reason why he'll never go get a job, and believes that job security is a myth when it's all just a bunch of bullshit coming out of his mouth. Phil, you have no idea how reality works. You have no idea what work ethic is, and that you want to believe that everything is crowdfunded, when in reality, you're the one being crowdfunded, where every single business is making money from their marketing. Take those delusions that you know everything and just shove it right back up your ass where it belongs, because it's all just shit from here. But with that being said, we will end it off with the Phil prayer. Deliver us from the dents. Deliver us from the pay pigs. Deliver us from the pignosis. May we never become dented. May we never become beggars like Darkside Phil. And for the ever-loving, unholy abominations and gods above, may we never, ever stoop to this level of stupidity ever again. Amen.